Calling to order Cuyahoga County Council's Human Resource Appointments and Equity Committee. We are at the County Administrative Headquarters in the C. Ellen County Council Chambers on the 4th floor. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
As a reminder to all in attendance, this meeting is being recorded and live streamed on the county's YouTube page. Calling the roll, Mr. Sweeney?
Present.
Mr. Gallagher?
Here.
Ms. Conwell? Present. Mr. Hauser? Mr. Hauser is absent at the moment. Ms. Turner? Ms. Turner is absent at the moment. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Mr. Hauser called in. He'll be up momentarily. Thank you. Is there any public comment?
No, Mr. Chair, no one has signed in.
Thank you very much. May I have an approval for the minutes of the July 29th, 2025 meeting?
So moved.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No. The minutes are approved. Madam Clerk, would you consider reading the matters referred to the committee?
Resolution 2025-0261, adopting various changes to the Cuyahoga County non-bargaining classification plan.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I'm Albert Bouchahine, the Manager of Classification and Compensation for the Personnel Review Commission.
Welcome.
Thank you. Before you are updates to the county's non-bargaining classification plan that have been recommended to you by the Personnel Review Commission. Department of Human Resources and Department Management have been consulted and made aware of these changes. The recommendations include 3 revisions and 2 deletions that are part of routine maintenance. 5 of the changes to the departments are before you because they have been transferred to the Department of Housing and Community Development. 2 of the information technology classifications went up a pay grade, but because all of the incumbents' current salaries fall within the new recommended pay grade, the change will not have a fiscal impact. The 2 classifications we are recommending deletion don't have any incumbents, and the respective departments have indicated that there are no future plans to fill them. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have, and I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Albert. What's your exact title?
Manager of Classification and Compensation.
Would you like that changed to make it fancier?
If it comes with a,
Something.
yeah, with something, but I don't care about titles.
Okay, thank you. Would you consider this regular routine cleanup stuff or something of more substance?
It's all routine maintenance pretty much. The only request we had was to change those classifications that were formerly Department of Development to the Department of Housing.
And I kind of ask this every time, is that from normal oversight from you or from the departments? It's rubbing it every once or twice a year kind of thing?
We constantly go over the classification to see if there are incumbents in those positions. We get lists from the Department of IT Infor every month also as well. We have access to that information. But in addition to routine maintenance, we also do get requests from the Department of Human Resources.
My last question before I open it up, and I apologize to my colleagues for stealing the floor right now. All the departments would assess it themselves, funnel it through HR, and HR will go directly to you? Or do the departments, after they're done, trying to understand this is the best interest of the people of Cuyahoga County in regards to their responsibilities, would go direct?
Those are good questions, Mr. Chairman. Typically, the departments, we prefer, unless it's routine maintenance, that they go through the Department of Human Resources, who facilitates the request process. They send us a formal request. We, in addition to that, have routine maintenance where we take 25% of the classifications every year and review them. We initiate that process. But what we don't want, and what's happened in the past, is for the departments to come directly to us. We spend a lot of manpower making updates and changes, and HR telling the departments, no, you can't have that. So if it's not routine maintenance, we prefer that they go through HR before they come to us, so we're not wasting man hours.
They're bringing something fully baked.
Correct.
Thank you. To my colleagues, any questions? Madam Vice President?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Through the chair to Albert, are there any in the proposed changes, are there any incumbents in those spots right now? Revised classifications, are there?
All of those classifications have incumbents, and under the revised section, yes.
to change any of their pay grades or?
Two of those have increases in pay grade, but those incumbents' salaries currently fall within the new pay grade. So there isn't a fiscal impact that's required. If HR, we don't set individual employee salaries, we just set the pay ranges. So if HR decides to give people increases, that's their responsibility, but nothing that you're voting on today would require a salary increase.
None of these?
None of them.
But you said two of them had paid.
Pay range, the
Change.
ranges went up, but the current incumbents' salaries fall within those pay ranges.
Okay, and which two are those?
They're the two classifications that are in the IT department. One is the Administrator of Web and Applications Development, and the other is the Manager of Technical Services.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Hearing none, thank you. Can I get a motion to move forward R 2025-0261?
So moved.
Second. It's been motioned and it's motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, 2025-0261 stands approved, and it'll move forward to the full council. Albert, as always, thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, can we clarify if this is, the motion was for second reading or second reading suspension?
You know what? He didn't say anything, so he doesn't get anything. No, I'm just kidding.
It's totally up to you, but it's not necessary in this case, so we can go normal process.
Go normal process.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just as a practice, I think we should, if they don't ask for it, we'll assume that they're not.
Gotta state it for the record.
I'd like them to ask for it, because then that'll lead them to that, because our process is the due diligence by charter of the full three readings and use it as a mechanism for the opportunity that needs to be addressed for things that move forward. So thank you. Madam Clerk, would you please proceed with R 2025-0264?
Resolution 2025-0264, confirming the county executive's appointment of Michael Negre to serve on the Cuyahoga County Corrections Planning Board for the term January 2nd, 2025 through January 1st, 2028.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Ben Schaefer on behalf of the county executive. Pursuant to Ohio Revised Code, Chapter 5149 and Section 6.04 of the Charter, I'm here to recommend the appointment of Michael Negre to serve on the Cuyahoga County Corrections Planning Board for the term January 2nd, 2025 through January 31st, 2028. We are requesting a second reading suspension.
Thank you. Mr. Negre, it's nice seeing you.
Nice to see you, Chairman.
Are you, who are you replacing?
I am replacing Russell Brown, who is our former court administrator.
And he served wonderfully with distinction.
Yes, he did, very well.
Quite confident you're going to do a great job. Are there any questions? Hearing none?
I have one.
Oh, okay.
For Ben.
Or
Ben, through the chair to Ben, what's the makeup of the Corrections Planning Board between?
Yes, Councilwoman, through the chair. I believe there are 19 members of the Corrections Planning Board, and it consists of various folks by virtue of their position, as well as executive appointments. Folks from the court systems, City of Cleveland being the largest municipality in the county, a couple judges, some folks from Adams, the sheriff's office, et cetera.
How many does the county appoint?
I think we appoint 7 or 8, I want to say. I'm not positive. I would have to get back to you on that.
Thank you.
Questions for Mr. Negre? Is it Negre?
No, that's what I was trying to
Yeah.
move them forward, because I have no questions. Anybody else have any questions?
Just wanted to ask, through the chair, why do you want to be on the Corrections Board?
Because he was.
Well, I believe I have a lot of court experience. I've been with Cleveland Municipal Court over 30 years. I'm the new court administrator this past month. I was a deputy administrator for 12 years, and I just have a passion for, rehabilitative of defendants, and you're working collaboratively with the county on many other issues that I deal with the county. And I just think I would be an asset to be on the Corrections Planning Board to assist. Nice to meet you.
I've known him since 6th grade. So,
You're telling his age.
oh, he looks a lot younger than I do. I was like in high school though, and he was in 6th grade. We know you're gonna do a good job, and it's nice to be able to have somebody that's excited, might be too strong, but you're really gonna play the role and do a great job and help lead that. And Russell did good. I think you're gonna take it to another level. So, any other questions? Hearing none, R 2025 dash, oh, is there a motion? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. 2025-0264 stands approved, and please add my name.
Thank you.
Item C, R 2025-0265, Madam Clerk.
And also let the record reflect that Mr. Hauser is in attendance.
And let me reaffirm, I need a motion on second reading under suspension on 2025-0264. Second. All in favor? Any opposed? None. R 2025-0264 stands approved. Second reading to move to the full council at the next council meeting. Madam Clerk, please continue.
Resolution 2025-0265, confirming the county executive's reappointment of Dr. Lauren Bean to serve on the Cuyahoga County Women's Health Commission for the term May 1st, 2025 through April 30th, 2028.
Thank you very much. Come on up, Doctor. Mr. Schaefer?
Mr. Chairman, Ben Schaefer on behalf of the county executive, here to recommend the reappointment of Dr. Lauren Bean to serve on the Cuyahoga County Women's Health Commission for the term May 1st, 2025 through April 30th, 2028. We are requesting second reading suspension.
Thank you. Welcome, Doctor. It was really nice meeting you very briefly, and please tell us what you want to tell us.
Sure. Thank you so much for the recommendation and for the opportunity to be here. My name is Dr. Lauren Bean. I'm a general pediatrician. I am also a very committed advocate for children, women, communities, health on many levels. And it's been a real honor to be on the Women's Health Commission over the past, I think, 2 years. I'm not sure. I was trying to count. I'm pretty sure it's been 2 years since it was founded by Executive Chris Ronayne. And I've met so many wonderful people who are all mission-driven with a goal of improving access to health care for women in Cuyahoga County. And so I am deeply compelled by this mission and am honored to have the possibility of continuing to work with this group. As a physician, every encounter I have with a patient in an office is an opportunity to advocate for them. But I really feel that my responsibility as a physician is to advocate on systems levels, community levels, state and national levels, areas where we can make big changes to impact as many people's ability to access healthcare as is possible. So being a part of this commission has been a wonderful opportunity for me to learn about the different ways in which people are advocating for women's healthcare access to be preserved in this area. And I think that especially given what I'm anticipating will be a challenging upcoming couple of years with cuts to Medicaid, we're going to have even harder time making sure that the women in Cuyahoga County can get the health care that they need when they need it. And I think that my perspective as a physician can be helpful on this commission during that time. As far as advocacy work and organizing, I have firsthand experience. I started an organization called Ohio Physicians for Reproductive Rights, and we helped to lead the Reproductive Freedom Ballot Initiative that successfully protected reproductive health care through the constitutional amendment in 2023. I serve on the board of the Ohio State Medical Association and the Committee to Protect Healthcare. And I'm also working to organize my fellow physicians at university hospitals to strengthen our voice so that we can better advocate for our patients' access to healthcare within our own system. And so for me, continuing to serve on this commission would be a real honor. And I am very grateful for everyone's time and consideration. And I'm looking forward to hopefully continuing to move forward together.
Good.
Great.
Just breathe. We're just so happy you're here.
Thank you.
I don't want to start. Just take this as nothing more than a reflection. Our county executive was very supportive in putting this together. However, there are some very strong independent women on this council that help drive this thing. Sitting next to one, Councilwoman Turner, Cheryl Stevens, Councilwoman Sunny Simon. Am I missing anybody? So it was a true partnership, and I happened to
Yeah.
be in the crowd that day.
That's
Sitting-
awesome.
Sitting in the back, playing my role, and I was just actually moved because it was pretty exciting, but also a mission. And seeing the quality of individuals that have been chosen and has accepted to help drive this thing is pretty cool. So that's my reflection on this. Does Cliff know how cool you are and how much you're doing this? Or
Does Cliff Majarian know that? It's a complicated question.
but I mean, I'm just,
Yeah.
he should know. And
Yeah,
we-
I don't know,
I have a-
actually. I'm not sure.
Do you mind if I just share my thoughts on how wonderful UH's commitment
Yeah.
is to the entire healthcare system,
Sure.
including this? Would that be something that you wouldn't object to?
No, I would not object to that.
Okay. I'm just my thought. I don't have much value, but on occasion I can add some.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, any questions besides mine? Madam Vice President?
Through the chair to Dr. Laura Bain, which committee do you sit on? I know that we're trying to finally get to that phase on the Women's Health Commission, mental health, and I don't remember the other one.
I think it's the Reproductive Health Commission. I think we're meeting after this at 11 o'clock. Yeah. So,
We got to get you there.
yeah, sounds good.
Any other questions?
No.
Just say, keep up the great work. And just, when I talk to the other members of the commission, creating something is wonderful, important, and the work that's done is even more important. But the ability to have the resources necessary to accomplish what comes out of it is probably the most important. And as this moves forward, then the ideas come and the resources are necessary. Don't be shy to talk to the folks that might have some control over the resources. And if it turns out to be other than the county, our voices can be heard because we have our magic pins in the city, the state, and federal government, maybe not as much. So that's just something, putting it back to your head as you're discussing it.
Sure.
I don't want to get to the point of, this is good, but we can't implement it because of that. Just know you have other folks that want to try to help accomplish that for you.
Great, wonderful, thank you.
Okay.
Awesome.
Should I make a move to make a motion to get you out of here?
That sounds good.
Okay. Is there a motion to move forward 2025-0265? It's been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. That 2025-0265 stands approved as read. And just add
Second reading.
second reading suspension. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. Item D, 02025, R, I should say, -0004. Madam Clerk, can you read it into the record?
Ordinance 2025-0004, amending sections 1501.01 and 1501.02 of the Cuyahoga County Code and section 3.02 of the Cuyahoga County Employee Handbook to prohibit discrimination on the basis of a person's hair texture or hairstyle commonly associated with a particular race or national origin in the areas of housing, employment, and places of public accommodation.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. Mr. McAleer?
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the HR Committee, Trevor McAleer, County Council staff. As many of you know, our staff attorney, Mike King, recently had a baby and is on paternity leave, so I'm stepping in today to present a brief overview of the proposed Crown Act ordinance that is in front of you today. At your dais, you will find written testimony from Chi-Chi representing Enlightened Solutions supporting this ordinance. Victor from the Law Department, who also staffs the Human Rights Commission, is also available to address any legal procedure questions that this committee may have our Human Resources Director, Sarah Nemastil, is also in the audience, prepared to provide a couple brief remarks about the ordinance. And then Councilman Hauser also has some prepared remarks to present as well. Before we begin the discussion on the proposed ordinance, we do have a proposed substitute. The substitute is technical in nature. What it does is incorporates the language from the conversion therapy ban that council recently approved last Tuesday. This ordinance was drafted and introduced before that was passed. So if the committee is willing, if they could pass or approve the current proposed substitute that's on the table. So that's the most up-to-date legislation in front of you. What that will do is provide consistency across the county code.
Thank you. Consistency around the county code is important. I want to thank Mike King for identifying it, and the rest of the staff for bringing it forward to submit it to us today. So I'm going to make a motion to accept the amended version of 2025-004. Is there a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. So the new ordinance as amended is approved.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the ordinance in front of you today, commonly known as the Crown Act, does two main things. First, it amends County Code Section 1501 to clarify that the definition of race, including based on race or because of race, encompasses the following language based around hair texture or hairstyle commonly associated with a particular race or national origin. Examples of that hair texture include curled hairs, locks, cornrows, twists, braids, knots, and afros. You can see that language exactly in the section 1501.01 of the proposed ordinance. Second, very similar language is incorporated into our own county employee handbook to explicitly state that the county is committed to providing equal employment opportunities regardless of hair texture or hairstyle commonly associated with race or national origin. Very similar language that is in the definition of the hair texture of 1501. Enforcement of this ordinance would mirror our existing anti-discrimination provisions as well as the recently approved conversion therapy ban. Complaints would be filed with the Human Rights Commission, which would conduct its review and determine next steps. If a violation is found, the commission would impose a civil penalty as provided in the already adopted Human Rights Ordinance. This ordinance reaffirms Cuyahoga County's commitment to fairness, equity, and respect for all residents. And Chairman, that concludes my prepared remarks, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. I have just technical, and when we pass ordinances, being as very specific and as tight as possible is important, because some folks like to find a loophole and try to get around things. When it's, it says including but not limited to.
Yes.
I didn't see that right off the bat, because that's listing them, but.
Right, those are some examples, yes.
Perfect. Okay.
And that language has mirrored some state and federal draft legislation as it's been introduced over the last couple of years.
And I'm just going to ask some, because I think Michael has some prepared, but when he has prepared statement, are you going to be up here to, Michael, or Mr. Chairman, when you do your prepared statement, are you going to be addressing anybody or just going to
No, I'm just going to read it from here.
read it out here?
Yeah.
And then when you're done, we can ask questions amongst ourselves.
Yep.
And there'll be nobody up there to, unless you want somebody up there.
No, that's fine.
So I'll take the time to ask questions now.
Yep.
How long has this been talked about? Is this something new or something? Because it's been in existence for forever, right?
Correct.
And there's been no action here. Applause to Chairman Hauser for bringing it forward. But why now? Why we didn't do something before? Would you?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I mean, on a national level and even at the state level, you can go back for at least half a dozen years or so and find different versions of legislation introduced, never adopted. It might pass one chamber of Congress or whatnot, but nothing has been passed. From a county council perspective, this was discussed when current Congresswoman Shontel Brown was here. She considered similar legislation that is before you today. She ultimately went in a different direction and did not introduce this particular language. We ended up drafting legislation for her declaring racism as a public health crisis, so that's
And that took this all encompassed.
correct. And she went down that road. In terms of this particular legislation, the lead sponsor, Councilman Hauser, I would probably say, I can get you exact timeline, 6-7 weeks ago, emailed staff and said that he would like to see what the county can do related to the Crown Act. So we worked with the law department, took us a couple weeks. We had a couple meetings with Councilman Hauser and some people in the community that are interested in this. We also met with the chief of staff for Congresswoman Brown, who supports this.
Perfect.
To get his thoughts. And so we introduced it, got it drafted for Councilman Hauser to introduce last Tuesday.
Thank you. So you'd consider Councilman Chairman Hauser the driving force that got this going?
Yeah, he requested that.
The county, and it got no momentum until here, and then kind of like the conversion therapy, hopefully from this point, it'll get some momentum, both at the state and federal level. Okay, any questions for Trevor? Or excuse me.
At the federal level, Mr. Chairman, I think there's 82 sponsors the last time I checked. I don't know if it's going to get a hearing or not, but in the House.
Discussion there, the lay of the land.
Right.
If it moves forward. Madam Vice President?
Yes, thank you. Through the chair, I have 3 questions. To Trevor, has there been any cases here in Cuyahoga County Department's workplace or our neighboring county partners in regards to hair before the Crown Act?
Madam Vice President, nothing that I know of for certain. This would certainly be the first ordinance passed by a county. I don't know if there's any cases out there related to any work places that I'm aware of. I have not seen any.
Okay, the second question, has this legislation been seen by our DEI department, or did it not need to be seen by?
Not the DEI department. We did work with the PRC on this legislation. HR, they actually had a couple changes, which is already incorporated before we introduced the legislation. And it went through legal review, but it did not go to DEI, the department. It did not.
Didn't feel that it was needed, or?
It wasn't even discussed. We can certainly send it over to Lenora, but we did not have that discussion if it was needed or not.
And third question, through the chair, will Section AF address colored hair, pink, green, blues? I see we're talking a lot about styles, not necessarily the high frequent colored hair that we may see. Just wondering if it was
Yeah, Madam Vice,
considered.
I would say it would, again, because it has to be commonly associated with a particular race or national origin. So colored hair, I don't know if that would fall under that category. We can ask the law department for their opinion on that, but considering that it has to be associated with a particular, historically with a particular race or national origin with those examples, not limited to, I don't know where dyed colored hair would fall under there.
Some people have pink.
Right,
Yeah, so let's check that out.
Okay.
That's,
certainly.
it's better to amend it and have it correct if. Yeah, but they're not here. That's what I was trying to get at. Were we specific? Do we have any cases? Okay, that, I'm done with my questions. Thank you, Trevor.
Any other question? Michael, excuse me, Mr. Chairman?
Thank you, sir. Did you say somebody from the human rights group was here?
Victor?
Victor, who is a associate law director, staffs the Human Rights Commission.
Okay. My concern is, one, what other doors are we opening up with this? Two, it seems ceremonial because I don't see a practical way in which to move through the court system because we will be sued. We will be sued. And it seems more ceremonial than anything else. And we've avoided this in the past. But even with like the conversion therapy thing, that's before the Supreme Court. So that decision's going to be made for us. So I didn't have a problem with that. But what unintended consequences are on the horizon? Are we going to concern ourselves with shoe styles, clothing, not just hair, headdresses, anything that might be personal to a group? Where are we going here?
Yes, sir. Victor Manalaci, Assistant Law Director, through the chair, if I may. That is a good question. In terms of what we could be opening ourselves to, I mean, headgear and stuff like that might fall under already protected categories, such as religious categories.
Good point. Is not this protected anyhow under our previous legislation? This just seems to be more highlighting.
That could very well be true, but I think this is, so just to give you a backdrop, there was something like this introduced at the state level in Ohio.
Right.
It didn't get enough votes to get anywhere.
Right.
Major cities, Columbus, Cincinnati, and I think Akron have a similar legislation on the books. So I think the goal here was that the county can get ahead and mimic those jurisdictions. And I mean, if it ends up being ceremonial, as you say, then there's nothing, there's nothing for us to do because we won't be getting more cases, and we won't be going through the process under Chapter 15 of the county code. But if, on the other hand, it turns out that we are going to see more cases, that individuals come forth and say, hey, look, I was fired from a job for this reason, or I was told this isn't the reason I got the job. It had nothing to do with safety. I wasn't going to operate machinery and my hair's down to here. Then it might be an avenue to do some good in the community. So the way I look at it is there's no risk that something bad's going to happen, but there is the potential that we could help some individuals in the community.
And how many cases have you guys heard, and how many years have you been in?
From the Human Rights Commission?
Yeah.
In 5 years, we've had 16 cases.
Yeah.
Related to sexual orientation and gender identity, which
Right.
is the only
Which is also
jurisdiction.
protected, really.
Yes, sir.
So really, the ideal, what we're doing here is you're sending a message to Columbus for the state to do something that would have teeth in it. We have no teeth, none.
Well, if it does end up that we do get cases coming in and we provide a resolution, I think it would present a good evidence that perhaps they should look at it on a statewide level.
So I'm an employer. I make it known I didn't hire somebody because of their hairstyle. You call me in. I tell you to pound salt. What are you going to do?
Well, first, if I was your lawyer, I would have advised you not to make that comment.
I'm not coming in. What are you going to do?
In terms of enforcement?
Yeah. Show me the teeth.
Under the county code, the county does have the ability to institute an action to enforce the penalty. But
Have we ever done that?
we haven't done that. We've never had the opportunity.
Oh, this is about opportunity now.
Not my opportunity.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But I mean, look, you bring up a very good point in terms of the teeth. If you look at what the penalties are, regardless of whether an allegation could come under the Crown Act, under the conversion therapy, or under the existing SOGI, it only goes up to a $1,000 fine, then 3,000, then 5,000, and that's not money that goes to the aggrieved individual. That's money that is supposed to go into a county fund to raise awareness of these issues. So if I'm somebody, that is something to consider. If I'm somebody who feels aggrieved, there's also an incentive component.
See, I've had the same line of questioning consistently since the inception because I never saw the teeth. And I know we're not going to use teeth because we'll get sued, it'll cost us money, and I'm at a point right now where I would like to protect people. I thought we did that with our discriminatory processes here. I think we can do it in-house for the county, but to include the whole county, I don't think we can do that successfully in court, because eventually it goes to the Supreme Court. And I don't think this is going to hold water. I really don't. And we're not going to find anybody. You're not going to collect any money. I know that. You know that. It sounds good. And this is to protect people, which I think we already have, is my point. And I wish we had teeth to put into this that mattered. The state could. The feds could. I don't think we can. And the first challenge we get may disrupt everything that we've done. From the Supreme Court, they could overturn, our discriminatory ordinances, things like that, saying, where do you have the authority to do that? State has that authority. If I were doing this, if I were the author, I'd have this as a resolution to send a signal down to Columbus. This is what we would like for you to do. I think we should probably done that with the previous legislation, because again, it's process and where are the teeth, and I just don't see it. And I know we're opening a door, and there's things out there we don't even know about. And I'm a kid of the late 60s, early 70s when afros were big and long hair was big, and we all got pounded for that. But, times change. The councilwoman asks a good question. What is covered under this? Is it, where's the line drawn on length, color? Are we getting into that?
Through the chair, I think a lot of that would be dependent on the facts of a particular complaint that we get, and it would be on the individual alleging the discrimination to set forth in their affidavit a compelling argument that that is in fact what was going on.
I just think this is a pretty dangerous practice because you're accusing someone of discriminatory actions. And if you can't prove it, there's going to be consequences.
Through the chair, yes, there is always a risk. That is a good risk that you bring up. Likewise, as you were talking about a legal challenge, the risk of a home rule challenge from the state or some kind of preemption is always there. And if you look at the case law for home rule, there's not a lot on counties. We're really the guinea pig here with having a charter county, but there is for major cities.
It's interesting.
It's always
question.
a fight with.
And home rule's important. Yeah, home rule's important, and we consider ourselves to have home rule. Do we have the home rule to go into a home rule community and force them to opt out? Aren't we stepping on their home rule?
Yeah,
we're creating questions here that I think eventually will be answered legally, and I don't think we're going to come out looking real good. That's my whole point. It hasn't happened yet, but eventually it will, and which is why I would prefer to do this as a resolution, and really any of these such actions as a resolution to send a message to Columbus. This is what we would like for you to do. We have representatives that obviously we can talk to too, but I see problems here. I've always seen problems in the creation of what we have with you. I think time has proven that it's it's dicey at best, and there are some legal questions that are hanging out there. And, you know, if we're going to force things like this out there and accuse people of things that they may or may not have done, there's going to be consequences coming our way, too. So, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Michael is a very strong, or the chairman is a very strong advocate. His position is well-known, but other folks have different opinions, and I'm gonna try to go with, just give me a sequence of, right now, if Katrina lost her employment because of her hair change, right now, what can she do to try to get her job back?
Right now, before we pass
Yeah.
this, under the county's resources, nothing that I know of.
Good. And now if we pass this, what could Katrina do if she lost her employment after her hairstyle changed? What would she have to do? Would she have to fill out a piece of paper? Would she have to come down here, file a complaint? She would go to the office of her HR department and make a complaint? How would that work?
So the complaint process on the county's website, as part of the law department's website, there's a Human Rights Commission website where the complaint form is available. It's a pretty basic form. It just consists of the individual's contact information and a sworn affidavit. So to get an action going that will be reviewed by the Human Rights Commissioners, all she would have to do is print that off, get an affidavit, have it notarized, which she could do at a bank, alleging what happened, a brief synopsis of the incident. If she has any emails or anything that could substantiate that, she could attach
Just-
that.
But right now, she has to fill out a piece of paper.
Yes, sir.
Once she gets the piece of paper, it goes to your office?
Yes, it goes to the Human Rights Commission.
And then it goes to the Human Rights, I'm just gonna try to get a sequence here.
Yeah, so it
And-
goes to, it's myself and the clerk, my colleague Callie Wartko in the law department. We screen the complaints. So we would read the complaint, I would read the complaint, and compare that to section 1501.03A4, which is basically determines whether or not the Human Rights Commission has jurisdiction. So
Once you have jurisdiction,
okay, let's say it's determined that there is jurisdiction.
you have jurisdiction, then you
Then we
interview her?
We would send her, and we would send the other party, in this case her employer, we would send notice that, hey, the Human Rights Commission believes that there is something here, we're exercising jurisdiction. The first line is to offer the parties a mediation, which is done through the Bar Association.
Would you ask the party that is being accused first and separately what their side of the story is? Because we got the side of the story from the employee, and we don't ask them at all?
No, so the commission's role is a quasi judicial role to be impartial. Acceptance of the complaint is, it's not showing favoritism to the individual filing it. It's just saying, you've raised a dispute here based on the facts that you've set forth. You might be able to prove this case, and then it's entirely party driven. Which is why the first instance is to offer the parties a chance to mediate the process. If that fails, then the commission will set a hearing, and at that point, the parties may present their evidence. They can bring witnesses. I believe the commission can also subpoena evidence. And then, let's say that happens. Let's say the commission gives a ruling in her favor and fines the employer $1,000. The employer would then be able to appeal that to the Court of Common Pleas, which is standard for any other kind of quasi-judicial bodies.
And we have this ordinance in place to be part of the discussion in Common Pleas Court.
Well, that's pursuant to, I want to say Chapter 25 and 26 of the revised code, that quasi-judicial bodies such as this one that issue a final decision, those decisions are then appealable to the Court of Common Pleas.
necessary because it's a reality, because if this legislation passed, we have it. Because it triggered all of this.
Yes, yes, sir. And that, you know, that's in line with giving an individual a right to appeal a decision.
Yeah, I know, yeah. And so they'll appeal it, and then it could go to the
It
Court of
could.
Appeals, and go to the state Supreme Court. And I don't know if it's gonna go up to the federal, but the state Supreme Court would probably deal with it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I just wanted to get a clear picture of, right now, it's $1,000 for the first time. And if the guy says, pound salt, I'm not giving you anything, what is your options?
The county may file an action in the Court of Common Pleas to enforce the $1,000 fine, and then similar to you know, the appeals process, a Court of Common Pleas would look and say, yes, you had authority, you employer are you know, you're mandated to obey their order, and that could potentially be kicked up as well.
No appeals, and then the state Supreme Court. And if there's a judgment, you move to collections and then liens and all that stuff. I'm blowing this out of
Yep,
proportion, but that's just,
hypothetically, yes.
that's
we
just
could-
a normal way of doing this. So there's some substance or in reality.
Yeah,
If
so-
it goes to that path. And if the state does the home rule, then we have to
it's
deal with it.
another
I've done
going
home
into
rule for a
overtime.
lot of stuff when I was on Cleveland City Council, but until that happens, our laws stand.
Yeah, and I just want to point out one thing that we really don't have data on, and it's kind of hard to get good data on, is how much something like this could deter an employer from maybe firing an employee, or with the current jurisdiction, with the SOGI jurisdiction, we just don't know if, you know, if just having this on the books, someone's going to say, you know, I don't want to get involved with, you know, I don't want to get on the bad side of the county or the city. I don't want to create a public record. I'm just, you know, not going to discriminate an individual. And that's also a possibility. So if I may give you an example, you know, our Department of Consumer Affairs, you know, they'll get complaints and whatnot, and then they'll follow up on it. You know, they'll follow up with like an auto dealer or someone, and I've seen some of those because they come up in public records requests. But it seems that just that possibility that you get on the wrong side is a lot of times enough to deter this kind of behavior. So I think that could be an added plus that we can't really get good data on that.
Just the existence of the ordinance, awareness of the ordinance to the individuals that are involved could have an impact. And if there is dollars put into this fund that could be used for the education for everybody, that this is something that you may not know about, and we have some funds to be able to share this with you. And as you run your business, you will just have that information, and you'll do what you want to do with this information.
Sure. So, for example, you know, the county has a lot of vendors, and part of the requirement is that everybody follows the county code. And so I think that in itself could serve as a deterrent to this kind of discrimination.
And to my colleague's point, that's the narrow. This one includes the entire county, which is also the private sector.
Yes, sir.
So the narrow is something we can not control, but have a lot more influence, because we can actually ban them, turn them on, and, you know, turn down their contract. But there is some substance to the whole county. So thank you for letting me go through that, so I can have it all in my mind how this is moving forward.
On that point.
Madam Chairwoman, or Madam Vice President?
Through the chair, what was your name again, Victor?
Victor Montalacci.
Okay, so on Sweeney's point, because that was one of my questions, was the enforcement only within county agencies, or since you described it so eloquently, that since it's being put in the county code, and if they're vendors with us, they're gonna hopefully see that. Was there any research done for like our major employees here in the county, like the hospitals, Sherwin-Williams? Was there any research to see what their existing policy was. Also, even though we want to protect people's rights as much as we do, we also want to make sure that we keep jobs here for people, so,
Through the chair, I do not know.
okay. And then my other question, to be clear, to Gallagher's point, how was it determined, and I think I know the answer to it because it's the HR policy needed to be changed, but was there discussion of why it was placed as an ordinance versus a resolution?
Through the chair, I don't know. I wasn't
I
part of
think
that.
that's Trevor's.
Through the chair, Trevor Mackler, County Council staff again. Yes, it was because the intent to codify this and incorporate it into the Human Rights Commission and the Human Rights section of the county code, as well as to amend the HR policy and procedures, the employee handbook.
To give it a little bit more teeth.
Yeah, a resolution, could, but this would actually put it in the county code.
Thank you. Victor, thank you very much, or Esquire.
Appreciate it.
You're good.
Just very quick, I've spoken to the Human Rights Commissioners on this matter. They're all, attorneys in private practice who couldn't be here today, but they've expressed their support for this legislation moving forward, so.
Thank you, and we have the privilege of appointing the members of the Human Rights Commission. Watching the excitement of the recently appointed, I know they're going to take every part of their responsibilities very serious, and I'm excited about that. Thank you. And to your clerk, thank you for your support. May I call the Director of HR?
Yes, you're the chairman, you can.
I was asking your permission.
Yes, sir.
Director, would you like to make a comment or two, just in regards to what's your thoughts on, because it impacts your world slightly.
Sure. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members of the committee. Sarah Nemistil on behalf of the County Executive, Director of Human Resources. So the County Executive is a co-sponsor of the legislation, fully supports the Crown Act, and sees this as an important step to protecting the dignity, respect, and protection of people of color. And from an HR perspective, we fully support the amendment to the policy manual.
Thank you. I just wanted to get the administration's comments because our county executive did without hesitation join as a co-sponsor to the lead sponsor. So I have no questions. I just wanted to be able to get you up here and have the opportunity to hear what the thoughts are from our county executive. Anybody else? Thank you. Michael, Mr. Sponsor, the floor is yours.
I appreciate it. I will close this out. First off, I just want to thank our incredible staff, in particular Mike King. I know he's with his second born today. Our law department for their due diligence in creating this legislation. Everything in this legislation was intentional. Mike and I worked with our law department for weeks, and so we all know that language matters. And so what's in the ordinance is purposeful. What's not, I'm happy to make amendments to Councilwoman Conwell's point. I don't think it mentions hair color, but happy to amend it to say hair color because you should not be discriminated even if you have yellow hair. And so just deeply appreciate the thoughtfulness brought to ensure that this ordinance is consistent, clear, impactful. I do want to highlight this ordinance will go into our employee handbook. So as a county, we are walking our talk. Even if this ordinance helps one person, to me, it was worth it. Now, that being said, I know you guys are looking at me and say, Councilman Hauser, you don't even have hair. And you would be right.
It could be your beard, though. You could do something funky with that.
But even so, this issue is profoundly important to me because how we choose to present ourselves and choices of, I might not have had the choice of if I'm going to wear my hair natural or not. But like many of us, I do know what it feels to feel out of place. In fact, I have had to cut my beard several times, anticipation of job interviews just to be perceived as acceptable or professional. And so this legislation does matter. The Crown Act is about dignity, equality, freedom, that no one in Cuyahoga County should be discriminated or held back by how they wear their hair. Generations of African-American women and men have been told they are not professional enough to succeed, and that they must change a piece of them to fit in. This ordinance says no more. Here in Cuyahoga County, we will continue to hold the line because your opportunity should not be dependent on how you look, but your characters and what you contribute to the community. And so while I do not have any here, I do have a responsibility that stands with those. This is not just a symbolic measure. This is deeply personal to a lot of people. If you don't believe me, you can read the testimonies yourself. I am proud to have authored and introduced this legislation, and proud to stand with the advocates who have fought for it for many years, from Congresswoman Brown to Juanita Brandt to Davita Russell, to all the many advocates for this. I'm proud that Cuyahoga County has always been on the right side of history. If this ordinance passed, we'll be the third county in the nation to pass this kind of ordinance, because together we can create an inclusive, fair, and just community where our diversity is not just celebrated, not just accepted, but celebrated. And I humbly ask for my colleagues' support. Thank you.
Thank you. The name of those three women, that's federal, state, with Chantel, Juanita, and Davita. That just shows the impact that you had by putting this together. Give me 2 sentences that's not written. Why did you saw this and you said, you know what, I'm gonna do something about it?
Yeah, I want to give Chi from Enlightened Solutions her credit. Actually, me and my mother, who wears her hair natural, ran into Chi at the Urban League, and Chi was just advocating for her issue, and I said, let's do it. And so again, I want to give our staff a lot of credit. I can't thank Mike King enough. The Councilman Gallagher's point, I guess the teeth is really, will be implemented into our own employee handbook. And so a lot of, I try not to do things just for ceremonial, because if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. And I think this issue does matter, even if it doesn't affect you personally.
Yes, so thank you. You heard it, I'm gonna do it. You've been here, a little while, and you got something, at least through the committee, and we'll see what happens on the whole floor. Okay, any other questions? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, would you please, is there a motion?
Move.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none. A second reading or three readings? Yes, okay.
Yep.
Thank you for allowing me. I've only been here a little while, and I'm still figuring it out. Stands approved as read. Madam Clerk, thank you for your expertise today. Is there any miscellaneous? I think I have one miscellaneous. What do you, got something?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
The person that's sitting in Chris Alvarado's chair, can you come up to the dais? Look at that walk. Welcome. Can you tell me who you are, why you're here, and did you take Chris's job?
Good morning. No, I did not take Chris's job. My name is Agatha Hickerson. I'm one of the Cleveland Foundation Public Service Fellows. So, excuse me, I'm working under Chris Alvarado in regional collaboration, as well as Laurel Diaz in justice and health equity.
Can I clarify one of those statements or one of those words you put in there?
Yeah.
I think Chris would consider it with instead of under.
Oh, okay.
No,
okay.
because
Yeah.
that group is that's who he is, right?
Yeah.
And just to know yourself, you're part of the team, and as you add value to us, hopefully we give you the opportunity to have some growth, and I look forward to watching you and your career just keep going in the right direction.
Thank you, sir. And yeah, he's very good at bringing people together.
Can you call me Mr. Chairman? No, I'm just
Thank you, Mr. Chairman,
And committee members,
and committee members.
thank you. I just wanted to highlight, you were so nice coming up and introducing yourself. I just wanted to give you a little platform to introduce you to the world because you're on YouTube.
I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Any other comments or questions?
She's a fellow.
She's a fellow.
Okay.
Okay, this meeting stands adjourned, and thank you, everybody, for your participation.